UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Justice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Justice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth.
everybody, and welcome to the South Asia Championship League powered by LG UltraGear. My name is Apollonia. I'll be one of your casters today, and with me is Vichy. How are you doing?
I'm awake and alive and I need some coffee, but apart from that, doing quite well, Apollonia. But I'm hyped for the semi-finals, as I'm sure are you, right? We have two powerhouses of teams and Deimos Force on the blue side and Exulansis on the red side. And what do you think of the picks and bans as we just, go into them?
All right, we see Senna, Wukong, and Graves. Very targeted bands, I feel, coming out from Deimos Force to Exulansis. We see the Lulu and Rumble. Okay, I know that these teams, it's a small community. They might have scrimmed each other every like now and then, and I think that these bands are very targeted to probably something that they've experienced from one another, and they don't want that to happen now that it's actually an official match, and that is a Galio last band. I'm not sure what to expect right now.
Yeah,
Not at all.
I actually think those are very smart bans because just a few days ago, both of these teams met each other in a flex game, and Termi Kingdom was there when he picked that champion called Rumble. And Termi is often very good at champions that can set his team ahead in terms of team fights and objectives and stuff like Galio and Rumble are like straight up his alley. On the other side, I really like the Wukong ban and also the Graves ban because Video Gamer has shown that he'll pick first Graves every time it's open. And Senna ban is also so that Dead Corporal ends up playing bot. Now Soraka is up. Essentially, this could be another Soraka game. Could potentially go top as well. And that's the versatility that Exulance seem to have. But what I like about what DF have done is they've taken the Yasuo from themselves. Dead Corporal loves to play Yasuo bot lane every chance that he can get. So there's a lot of common champions Apollonia that both of these teams have, and it's going to be a trade off back and forth because J4 is something that Forest plays a lot, and Forest is like, you know what, guys, I'm just going to go for tank. I'm going to provide the knockup that my Yasuo needs. And so far, like I think both the teams seem to get what they kind of want to get, which is quite interesting.
Yes, that Yasuo pick, we've been seeing a lot of Yasuos coming out, and I'm excited to see what Deimos Force will be able to pull up with this pick. I haven't quite seen the Yasuo work its way. Well, maybe with Termi playing it, but at this point, it could be flexed. I have no idea who's going to be on it, so the Zac and the Aphelios. Okay, so there is a Yasuo mid or top. Okay, Aphelios, I like that champion as well. Very good AD carry in the current meta. Lots of burst damage, very versatile kit. Zac serves great purpose with CC, and pairing that with the Yasuo is a good choice. Exulansis with that Diana. Okay, so Javan for Soraka, Diana. Not too sure what they're going for, but it looks like sustained fights might be something that Exulansis will want to go for.
Yeah, so the thing is, with the fact that Eichel Vanko probably doesn't play Yasuo at all, and they picked Aphelios, the Yasuo could only be flexed mid and bot, but once that Aphelios got picked, it pretty much confirms that that's going to be Termi playing Yasuo in the mid lane, and it's instantly being replied with a Diana from Catbot. Now I haven't seen Catbot play much Diana. He's known to play a lot of other champs like Katarina, of course, Oriana, and some other champions, but I haven't seen his Diana much. But in this particular matchup, it won't be the worst thing. And with Soraka healing him, right, that's actually going to be very interesting to see. And you can see
True.
already in the bot lane now, Rusty Panda gets banned out because his support pick is left. Oh, surprisingly enough, Brom is still left open, which I think would be pretty good here if they can look to get it. But they did ban out the hooking champs. I think it definitely means that Soraka could potentially be going bot here, showing some more respect to Dead Corporal. I don't think Crow plays it. So they still expect somewhat that Crow could be going support, and Tamkench is still up for them to take. So still a lot of flexing available for EXE right here. And this pick will let us know and get greater detail if the Soraka is indeed going top or if it is going to go in the bot lane. Because Soraka top is something that EXE have pulled off. And the Olaf pickup is
Ooh.
interesting.
Wait.
That
Okay, so there's a Javan 4 and there's a Olaf. So one of them is definitely going to go top. Or it could be AD. No? Yes? No?
Yeah, so this is mostly going to be a whew. Wow, this draft is sweating me out, Apo. Like, I like the Mordecai as a pick regardless. I think that's a good pickup. One person, and especially in a game where you have Soraka, right? If Mordecai can ultimate the Soraka in his Shadow Realm, then Soraka's ultimate will not heal anybody else except herself. Or if Mordecai takes any other person out, then Soraka's heal also will not help them. So that's a very interesting pickup and will be crucial in team fights. I'm 100% positive that the Olaf is now jungle or could be top. Actually, I don't really know, but I think Micro Ice could be playing the Jarvan in the support lane. We'll have to wait and see. The last pickup will tell us a lot. But the Trundle
Timo.
pickup is also super interesting. So that's going to be a Trundle bot lane, an additional level of CC. And damn, son, yeah, that's going to be a Trindam
Wow.
at top and Olaf bot.
Wait, let's just take a moment to process what we just witnessed. Okay, let's start with Deimos Force on the blue side. So that is a Yasuo, Aphelios Zac, Mordekaiser, Trundle. Now, Yasuo is in the mid lane, Mordekaiser in the top lane, Trundle in the jungle, but it is a Zac support with an Aphelios. Now, what is up with the multiple jungle picks from both sides? It's definitely something that they've created. This is the creativity that I live for. Jarvan for Tryndamere. So there's Tryndamere as the AD carry. And Olaf as the jungler, Jarvan 4 as the support. So wait.
Now, this could potentially
Wait.
be Dead Corporal going top with
Right.
Jarvan and EXE Crow going bot lane with the J4 Soraka. AD J4 potentially here, like probably Lethality. And I don't know, man. Like this comp is all melee except for like a
Mm-hmm.
Soraka,
Yeah.
and Trundle can disrupt a lot. Zac can disrupt a lot. We don't really know how well this team fight might play out, but I'm sure EXE has a plan. Like I am trying to understand the plan a little bit. Yeah, get the Olaf ahead, send him out to kill the Aphelios, get the Trendaman to kill the Crix is gonna have a hard game, not gonna lie. Like he will get countered, but if the other people from DF do not get countered, if Yasuo is allowed to jump onto the carries of Exulansis, and Trundle can create enough disruption to allow his Aphelios to damage from afar, and Zac can also provide peel. Actually, he doesn't have to always engage. Then I feel like DF can win out these team fights because they have a lot more tools on their side as well to initiate and disengage. So very interesting comp from EXE right here, Apollonia. What do you think? How do you have any ideas on how this might play out? Because I'm trying to still gather my heads around this, but it's not making a lot of sense to me yet. But maybe if you have
Yeah.
some inputs on this.
It's not very often that we see teams pull out comps like this. So I think it plays out to how well they'll be able to snowball the picks that they want to snowball and use those picks to carry. So let's look at Deimos Force for a bit. Aphelios is a great carry provided that they can keep him alive. Zac is actually a decent. I would feel because thinking about it, like visualizing it, Aphelios with Zac in the bot lane. Zac can keep Aphelios really safe. He has tons of CC, and like you mentioned in the team fights, that's when Aphelios becomes vulnerable. But there are tools in his team to keep him safe because I feel that if Aphelios is dead, then you got Yasuo to look at, to try and carry. Another thing I like to point out is that Mordekaiser, Mordekaiser's ulti, you want to pick off someone in the enemy team and make your team fight more advantageous for your own team. And it looks like Mordekaiser can only take Soraka out. So from Deimos Force on that side, they have multiple ways to play it, but it really depends on is Aphelios going to get fed in the early game or is it going to be Yasuo? Who's going to be that main carry, especially into a team like Exulansis?
Yep, and Exulances have shown time and time again over the last 2 or 3 tournaments that they've played Apollonia is that they are very good at setting up dragons. Whenever a dragon fight happens, I pretty much will put my money on them because they've shown, the ability to take the right team fights, the right preparation, the right coordination, right? As a team, they just looked a better, well-oiled machine. And DF, have made some changes in this roster as compared to the last one that they lost. Forest comes in the jungle role. He brings himself a lot more experience. Their crazy top laner Hunvik Lee has been replaced by Eichel Vango, who is also known to be a very team player. So This roster, I dare say, is better in terms of team communication. Might not be better, maybe in terms of individual skills per se, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely a more team-oriented composition, playing around their primary carries this time, which is Crixus and Termi. So I'm really curious to see if their efforts have played off. Every team Apollonia in the last week have played flex games or scrims like every day. These teams are raring to go. They want to prove that they are the best team. They want to get into that finals, and I really like the fact that both teams have prepped so much, and now we will get to see the fruits of their labor, so to speak, right? Which team,
The fruits.
yeah, which team will has practiced well enough and worked well enough. And I just feel like the later the game goes on, Tryndamere with Ignite and the split push threat becomes a real thing. And I actually just forgot Strundle jungle, and it's actually Zac bot, which is something Rusty has played once, which is quite interesting actually, considering that Zac could have gone jungle and affected the map more, but I guess it's still fine. They have enough tank on their arsenal. All right, guys, we're starting off with the first semi-final of Polonia. Are you excited? Because I am, because I really want to see how this composition from Exulansis, ends up playing out.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Finally, we are out of the spectator delay and we can just get right into it. Um, but you did bring up some very good points, Given the compositions that both teams have made, it's going to be very diverse, their gameplay. Who's going to be caught out first? Who's going to do the catching? And Exulansis, with Crow on that Soraka, if Soraka stays alive and heals everybody on the team, they're going to do great DPS. And that's what Exulansis is going to look for. And for Deimos Force, they're going to keep their Aphelios alive to basically clean up the fights. But we'll see how this pans out. And looks like the teams are going to their battle stations, a little bit of a meetup in the bot lane, but not much is going to happen. Wards have been dropped by the junglers, and
Yeah,
oh,
so this has happened a lot. Exulances tend to always have stronger level ones, and the way they play out the level ones, people just generally get caught off. Even against the game against Deimos vs Rio, right? There was an invade on the red side, and Ornn had to flash. Like I think it was Zuko who had to do that. So DF is respecting that. They're realizing that, hey, you know what? Let's just put our wards in the entrances of our jungle. We don't want these guys to come. And you can see already, right? They are relentless. Like Exulances are not afraid to take these level ones because they have the stronger level ones. They have an Olaf, they have a Diana. They are able to clear out the ward and they will spot out. And yet again, it's going to be Dead Corporal who's going to play the menacing role of trying to disrupt the start of the enemy jungle. But let's see if he's successful or not.
yes. So both junglers are starting on the top side of the map. Dead Corporal is being really cheeky, but getting that early sweepers on the jungler is always great to deny that vision. Keep yourself hidden, and it'll be a much easier time jungling, with your pathing and the ganks that you want to pull off. Now, I will say that the first dragon that will come up is the Infernal. Looking at both teams, it is going to be very important to get that soul as usual, and Rusty Panda.
Yeah, already off to a small start. He just wants to jump and be like, you know what, I'm here, makes his presence known with a knock-up aftershock, loses 0 HP, just having some fun. They did realize that Olaf has started on the red side, and both the teams know where the junglers have started, but let's see if they're able to track them because that's going to be important. Meanwhile, level 2 has been reached by DF Force, and they get some small trades off. Rusty Panda takes a little more than he should, but it should be still fine. And this is the thing, right, Apollonia? Like, they have a J4 who really can't push a lane. So DF will have primary advantages in the push factor in that bot lane.
Yeah, that's true. And we can see, what Zac is doing. Zac has so much CC, especially, he can clap two people together. All of that, it's
Oh,
just
this is going to be
really
tough,
good.
problematic. Dead Corporate goes in, and Aikil Wang has to flash out. Does he have enough HP? I think he might die as the first blood, and Dead Corporate outplays it, but they get the kill back. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it's Soraka who picks up the kill. So they trade 1-for-1, and 1-for-1 again in the bot lane, but this time the AD carries, or basically the carries in the bot lane, each die to the supports, which is quite interesting to see. And actually, it's going to be Soraka who's playing the role of the carry here. She's the one with the Doran's ring, and it's going to be J4 with the support item. So the idea is to funnel some gold onto the Soraka, and then hopefully get her to be very strong with her heals and AoE damage. The advantage here, however, is that Kill Vango does have teleport, so he is able to just teleport back to lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Katrina bot and Tormi just trade a few blows here and there. Katrina bot does not have enough mana, and Crixus does come back, and he should be able to take the farm. So a lot of crazy trades happening across the map here, Apollonia. Like quite interesting to see that.
Yeah. Um, you know, and Exulansis, they're known to play very unorthodox carries. They don't want the traditional AD carry picks. So having a carry Soraka with a J4, that's cool. Especially with Soraka being able to pick up their CS. I think they just want, more heals coming out of their Soraka. More sustain. Because naturally all the other picks on the Exulansis have a good amount of damage. Especially burst damage. They also have catch potential. And 2 for 2, not much of a goal difference, but Dead Corporal is playing extremely aggressive in the top lane. Very aggressive.
Yeah, this is one thing I missed about Dead Corporal going bot. Like we always remember how aggressive and crazy he plays in the top lane.
Yeah.
The guy has mad skills, right? At this point, Rusty Panda could be in trouble. Oh, the silence came out a tad bit too late, and he was able to survive. Now they are able to spot out the jungler. And Trundle is there as well. Meanwhile, this could be a bait here. Video Gamer, can he catch for the bait? No, he does not. And in the mid lane, now Diana decides not to back up. And here comes Trundle on that Olaf. The Olaf has to run away. And he should successfully do that. Unless, of course, the pillar is up. So they are able to track the Olaf. The Olaf is around 1.5 camps ahead, but bot lane, just giving each other pressure. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Apollonia, it looks like Tormi is having a field day in this matchup.
Tormi on that Yasuo, a very comfortable pick for him. He does have a team that supports this pickup, so that's good for the least, Tormi, even with CS, he's farming pretty casually against Catbot, but we cannot forget the power that Catbot does possess. If he gets rolling, he's going to just snowball, and he can pretty much carry his team as well.
Yeah,
so,
and you can see, right, he teleported and he just came bot to roam, but unfortunately was spotted on a ward, which is quite interesting. He does come back with an item spike of some sorts. He has an extra revolver. Tormi has not backed yet. Tormi does not have teleport. Tormi is in the top lane looking to do a gank, which I'm not sure. And here comes Trundle and the Zac. Flash blown from Soraka. J4 has to run away. J4 does not have EQ. This could be a kill. Never mind, he does have EQ. Crixus is in trouble. Can Crixus kill someone? They're looking for the Soraka. They are able to get the Soraka. 1 for 1 so far. Here comes Video Game. Rusty Panda does not have, he does have his passive, and Trundle also has his Conqueror stat. Can he run away? He does have flash. It's a nice flash for the EQ. When all was said and done, it's still a 1 for 1. And yet again, both the carries go down. But here comes Katarina bot, and Rusty Panda is like, I'm out. He jumps away and runs out, and that should be him surviving. So they definitely did back out, but I would say that the advantage still goes over tad bit to Exulansis. And look at this, Yasuo does not see where Tormi is, has to back up. Tormi is a little greedy on that back, just trying to back in the middle of it. He finally does back here, but again, a series of events, a lot of flashes being blown, but Exulansis come out on top because now they also get the dragon up.
Yeah, in the bot lane, it was a good exchange. Soraka did die, and so did Aphelios. I feel that Crixus has to be a little bit more mindful about his positioning, especially with that sustain. Soraka was just dishing out those heals to Jarvan, and Jarvan managed to pick up that kill. So they gotta be a little bit careful with what they're trying to do, and that is the first Drake going over to Exulansis. That is the Infernal. The next one will be a Cloud. But good pickup, Exulansis is always known to have extremely strong dragon control. And they are still proving it this game. The junglers are fighting extremely hard as well. But Forest seems to be coming out at the top. He is 1-0-1. But we can't forget that Video Gamer did have a very nice follow-up in the bot lane earlier.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm thinking the fact that Tandem has gone Ignite, which means that the only split push potential they have is going to be the Diana, and I don't think the Diana is going to split push against the Mordecai, so I don't think she wins that matchup at all. So it's interesting for me to see, if this game goes to like 20-30 minutes and you have Mordekaiser split pushing. Mordekaiser can join his team, get the Baron, and they can make more plays happen with the numbers advantage. So it should be interesting to see how that plays out. I think Exulansis are gonna have their number. Oh, it's a beautiful EQ yet again, and yeah, but this time it's gonna be the Yasuo with that double ultimate. What a beautiful knockup by Zac right there. And my boy Termi here is like, you know what, guys? Katrina bought roam, got nothing. I roam, got a kill for you guys. Got a kill for the amazingly tanky Zac. And that was just very, very cleanly played by DF.
It was a perfect roam at the perfect time, and that is the power of Zac. The double clap, just easy setups for Tommy. 1-0-1. This is great goal. And now Crixus, he bought an Executioner's Calling as the first item, and that is really essential, especially playing against a Soraka. So good itemization, I feel, coming up from Deimos Force, and we will see Forest stop.
Yeah, another fight happening. Trundle ultimates, Olaf ultimate. Trundle versus Olaf. Who wins this? I don't know. I actually think Trundle loses it, but he does not ultimate him on time. He actually loses, and this is going to be Diana ult as well. There is no ult on the Yasuo here. What is going to happen? Okay, they get the kill. This could be difficult right now. I think Van Gogh should get a couple of kills, and this is what Van Gogh needs to get himself ahead. That's going to be a 2 for 2 at the end of the day, but I kill Van Gogh, walks away with 2 kills and the double buffs on his side.
Exulansis was trying to set up, opportunities and fights, but it seems like Deimos Force is reacting very quickly and very fast. How Mordekaiser just roamed that way, pick up those kills. They managed to even stop the Herald. It's a great answer. That's what you have to do, especially when Exulansis has such strong macro play. You gotta fight, fire with fire. You gotta be just as quick and try to foresee what their plans are. At this point, Yasuo is sitting extremely comfortably, and so is Mordekaiser. We're looking at, the CS scores, not much of a difference. There are 2 extra kills from Deimos Force, so they have a bit more of a goal difference.
Man, this is gonna be, he's gonna die. This is purely because... Okay, I don't want to say this, but the fact that he did not build an early Zonya or a stopwatch, and the fact he does not have Tabi, instead goes for a Bramble Vest, I just feel like those items are kind of being his bane, and that Corporal just takes away all the advantage that Eichel Van Gogh built for himself, and now he's in a load of trouble. Meanwhile, another beautiful double knockup. Hughes jumped onto the silence, but Rusty Panda, my boy, gets another double knockup, but Cranko Crow is like, you know what, none of that crap. He's gonna just run away, and Soraka is gonna make him find just yet again. Here comes Olaf, though Olaf does not have a. This could be the time for him to do something. Can the pillar land? The nice use of the ultimate, however. Oh, he does land his ultimate. Can he kill him? Yes, he can. Can Diana get a kill back? It seems that she can. And fights happening left, right, and center. Crixus is in trouble. Crixus' ulti is right here. Soraka auto-attacking to death. They get a kill yet again. Here comes Catbot. Catbot's in trouble. But here comes Soraka with the heals. Rusty Panda might be in trouble. Never mind. He gets the kill. EXE Crow is running. No flash, no heal, only silence. And in front of 2 tanky people, that's gonna be a dead person. That's a double kill going for DF. And right again, a crazy fight, 3 for 2, but it goes in favor of DF.
Wow, when all those fights broke out, Trundle was level 6 and Olaf was level 8. But because of what Hermie was able to do, getting a double knockup, managing to pull off his ult before he died, and Trundle just picking up all those kills that clean up. Crixus, we can see that Aphelios is going to get jumped by Micro Ice the entire game. But how Deimos Force is playing out their fights, they also have multiple carries just like Exulansis. It's really a case of who's going to engage first, who's going to pick up the right fight. Now, the Cloud Drake is up. We will see more control on the bottom side.
Yeah, Exulansis have just gone for it, and this is yet again their preparation or their preference. DF just isn't ready to fight these breaks at all, and they kind of want to get the Trundle back, the Tryndamere back, and the Tryndamere will just E away like it's nobody's got. Oh, he blocked it. Interestingly enough, can they get the kill? Let's see what will happen here. The Yasuo ulti being used, Tryndamere ulti also being used, and they get the kill. The Tryndamere ulti was not being used, and that's a big juicy shutdown going over to me. That's a misstep on the side of that Corporal, right, Rev? And with Mordekaiser still being up, he can simply take one of these carries. Nice cue by Video Gamer right there. Gets the scuttle cap for himself. But you know what? DF do respond back with a Rift Herald of their own Apollona. So finally, they are trading their objectives as they were supposed to.
Yeah, and Yasuo does have the most amount of gold on the map. Tryndamere is second to that. So
Oh, it's a
who's going
two-man
to be able to
ulti,
carry
but here comes Zack as well, and oh lord. This was an attempt by them to do something with Soraka heals coming as well. It did not pay any sort of dividends, and they get a couple of ratings for themselves, and rightly so. You know, Yasuo is like 1,000 gold ahead of Katarina bot or Diana at this point, and he has the tools that he needs right now to carry. Termi is set up really well this game. I also have to mention that 4 kills are on the Zack, which is not the optimal person to have the kills on, because Crixus does not have any kills right now. So Crixus, even though he is a little bit ahead of the Soraka, is not massively ahead or where DF want him to be. And also in the top side, finally, you know, you see the Tabe being built by Mordekaiser. So this is a point where he should be able to somehow survive the lane better. But that Corporal is going to be a menace as the game progresses. He's already looking to take down the towers. You know, the plating gold has gone down, but he's very close to finishing off that tower.
On the topic of Rusty Panda, he does have to be very careful with how he plays his team fights. Because earlier, you know, Crixus got jumped on and Zack just flew past. But oh, Deimos is extremely aggressive. He's constantly looking for fights and just trying to chase away anybody that wants to come up into the top lane. This Dead Corporal on Tryndamere, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know that he could play this champion, especially to this level. Picking up that Ignite, you know, we were talking about split pushing earlier. I do feel that Dead Corporal will be able to split push very well without the teleport, because he could kill right now with his standing and the amount of gold he has, as well with the CS lead. He can stand against anybody and potentially kill them under tower, and that would just leave, you know, Exulansis in a very good advantage. They could just leave their couple to split push all the way, but they have to be careful when it comes to the team fights. And I think Soraka is going to be that answer to, you know, keep the sustain up. So we have to see what Deimos Force would like to plan against Exulansis to counter that kind of strategy.
Yeah, and the Exulansis are rushing for the tower, but this might be their death calling Apollonia, because 5 people from DF are coming and they want their fight. Now Trundle is there as well, teleport from Diana. Trundle could be the first one to die, but backup is here, guys. Backup is there. Trundle will go down, but will everyone else not? We'll have to wait and see the ultimate being used. Even with Crixus, a beautiful ultimate, 2 for 2, and the teleport advantage comes in very handy. 3 kills to the Yasuo right here. The teleport coming up huge. Tryndamere does go to the mid lane to get that tower. However, the kills keep flowing and flowing to Termi, and he picks himself 3 more kills, and they will look to get the bot lane tower in return. But Tryndamere is heavily pushing the mid lane, so Exulansis still get 1 tower back, but that's a lot of kills that they will end up losing. And this is crazy. I'm not sure if this is a fight that he want to take. Oh, that's a brilliant setup. That Corporal is going to be in trouble right here. He just has to press Q. Can he force this? Oh, never mind. The mid lane tower also survives. Really good drones by Rusty Panda right there to avoid the mid lane tower being taken. The bot lane tower goes down as well, and now DF seem to be slightly edging out this lead.
Yeah, Exulansis has to be a little bit more careful with their engages because their Corporal does not have the TP. He couldn't get into the team fights. Katarina bot did do a good teleport. They did get the kill on Trundle, but that is the problem with a melee comp. And then the only range champion being someone that is more supportive, which is Soraka. Because Yasuo was just slipping and sliding. They have to try and stop that. And Aphelios came late to the party, but he did manage to drop the ulti and also do damage from a safe distance. So Exulansis, they can go in for these fights, but they also have to be very mindful that they need to take out the Aphelios and the Yasuo as quick as possible, and not blow all of, you know, their resources onto someone like a Trundle who died, but it was a 1 for 4. And that's just, you know, not a good place that Exulansis wants to be in. The next dragon is coming up. It is the third one. And
the next dragon is upper, but Mordekaiser isn't up. So let's see what happens right here. Do they engage though, like the madmen that they are? They sort of decide to, and look at this, that Corporal goes in, will have to blow an oil salt. It's a beautiful combo right there from Exulansis. They will be able to get the kill, but Crixus is left untouched in these team fights. Ultimate use of Mordekaiser, never mind, double kill. Crixus is online in this fight, and yes, they're able to get the carry. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful Olaf ultimate. They are able to blow the passives. Actually, that doesn't matter much at all. Never mind then. That's still going to be a 3 for 1 at the end of the day. You know, Olaf has to run away And even with that beautiful engage onto the Yasuo, Grixis was left untouched. Beautiful ultimates from Mordekaiser and on Zac to disrupt the flow. And now DF are in the driver's seat, Apoluna. They get 3 for 1 and they get the third dragon.
Grixis is online. And that's the power of having a range carry, especially on such a busted champ like Ophelios. Plant to damage with the IE completed. And the executioners just to make Soraka's life an absolute living hell.
Yeah, that's an 800 gold advantage for him in that field. He had like 300, 400 gold. He got like 1400 gold in this game. That's huge for him.
And that's the first dragon that will go over to Deimos Force. So, you know, losing the first 2 dragons is always okay. Picking up from the third onwards, and especially picking up from the third dragon onwards, you get the same type of Drake stacked on top of the next. So if you have like 4 ocean drakes, that's really busted.
Yeah, I agree.
That's insane.
If they can keep that up, they will just keep healing in team fights, and that's going to be absurd. I completely agree with you. It should be quite interesting. But what do you think should be the game plan? Because now that the laning phase is more than over, right? Like the Tryndamere split push has begun, Apollo. You can see already he's taking the Krugs of the bot side. Mordekaiser is left to his own tower to defend as much as he can. The good thing is he has finished his Zonya, so he can buy some time, and that's a nice trade if he can choose to go for it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, small skirmish, but Zac will just run away. Zac has also built himself a Bramble. Trundle has built himself a Bramble. There's 3 Brambles on DF Apollonia.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll just repeat that.
Yeah.
3 Brambles, but that's smart because they are itemizing to stop Exulansis 1 win condition. Picking a Soraka with 4 melee champions, you have to stop that because if you don't stop the healing, it's just going to be 4 huge... 3 Juggernauts and 1 burst champ coming right into your face, and that is something that they do not want. I wish that Exulansis will also pay the same respect, especially that Yasuo Termi, he has a death dance. Mordekaiser has a little bit of healing, Zac as well, and Trundle also has healing. They also need to cut it. It's very important to cut healing in team fights because it can make or break them. And Tryndamere also did pick up an Essence Reaver. Well, we do see this because of the 20% cooldown reduction as well as the critical strike and 70 attack damage. That's a lot of damage. I think that Dead Corporal is opting for, that kind of stats to just keep pushing. He does have the highest amount of CS, and in terms of gold, he is the second highest on the board, Termi being the first. So Dead Corporal has to try and get this kill onto Mordekaiser and get those powers, because if it's just going to be farming walls, it's not going to help for Exulansis. They might as well look to catch as 5.
He's their win condition this one. He's so massively ahead of the Mordekaiser and Essence Reaver so that he can continuously spam his E so that he can be more slippery and run away from things. But DF thankfully are responding back with a top lane tower. But Exulansis have to put all of their cash on the Tryndamere to carry right now. If he can start killing I Kill Vango under his tower, which honestly could potentially happen, you never know, then life is going to be very hard for them. And you can see already, like, that's a lot of damage that he's doing when his rage is up with critical, with his crit 30% being up when his rage bar is full. So this is a ticking time bomb. If I think DF have to be the one to make some plays happen, because if the game state is like this, then I just feel that Dead Corporal might just end up completely wrecking bot lane, which is what Exulansis would want to do.
Yeah, Mordekaiser has what he needs to stay alive. That Tabbies, the Thornwell, and the Zonyas, which is decent. And we see Exulansis, very classic of them, invading into the bot side of the jungle. They like to gain a lot of control, especially vision control. We can see from Micro Ice, his vision score, it's great. And a skirmish is happening. Yes, no, Dead Corporal.
The silence is down. The silence is down. Oh my lord, beautiful combination yet again. The teleport of death is what I would want to call this. But can our boy Katrina boy survive? No, he cannot. The teleport was not used effectively at the least. And with Dragon spawning in less than 30 seconds, that's going to be another Ocean Drake going. I don't think I Kill Vango need to use his flash either. He could have just Zonya'd and bought some time for himself, better than using his flash. But it does not matter, Apoluna, because DF is like, screw Drakes, let's go for Baron.
Yeah, Deimos Force is actually really playing to their strengths. All of their rotations have been fruitful. they're going for objectives when they know they can. They gave up the first two dragons, but now they're ready to stick. And we see Vengo, is he going to survive against their corporal? Rusty Panda comes up for the help, and that is going to be the Mordekaiser ulti onto deck corporal. Is he going to...
Does he have W? He does! He gets the kill, the madman! Olaf versus Yasuo. Yasuo could be in trouble, but he lands an ultimate on the J4 and he kills him, and Aphelios ult as well saves him. And yes, they are able to get the Yasuo, but Krix is going to flash away, but he does not have enough damage. Yes, he does have damage. Baron does go down. 3 more deaths for Exulansis, and DF are just killing at this point in this game 1 of the semi-finals of the TEC South Asia Championship League.
Crixus was like, are you trying to kill my brother? Where you going? You ain't going nowhere. He just flashes right across the Baron pit and picks up those kills. So Exulansis is in a really bad spot at this point. It's a 6k gold difference.
Such a cheeky boy. If he gets spotted out, yes he does. Man, if he didn't get spotted out right there, he could have just been able to jump on both of them and get more kills. But we have to commend everybody from DF. They've literally played very well at this point. Like, all of them have done their role. They definitely look like a much better coordinated team than we've seen in the last couple of tournaments. And Olaf is not there, Trundle is there. This could be the second Ocean Break going. And if I was Micro Ice, I'd run the hell out of there, my friends, because you're going to be in trouble if you survive, and he does.
Alright, so the second Ocean Drake will go over to Deimos Force, and now both teams is 2 for 2. They both have like 2 dragons each, but we can see that Deimos Force has the upper hand. Everyone across the board is just doing well. Everyone has a positive score, and Exulansis has to play from behind. Now what their plan is going to be, especially, you know, they were very bold to pick the Soraka and Jarvan 4 bot lane, as well as a Tryndamere in top, so they gotta start making plans and also catch up in levels, because Aphelios level 13, that's just massive with the Yasuo at level 14 in comparison to all of Exulansis, which, you know, they're still around level 11 on average. Doesn't look bright for them, but they can still try, and the pause will be dropped. Don't worry guys, it always happens when you are watching the South Asia Championship League. And let's just talk a little bit about, you know, the itemization and what the teams can do moving forward from here.
Yes, Krixus is 2 items heavy. Smart itemization from Tormi to go for Death Stance so you can survive longer. Death Stance coupled with the passive from Phantom Dancer makes him survive a lot longer than he should. Once he finishes his IE, he's literally going to one-shot or one combo anyone on the side of Exulansis, barring maybe the Olaf. And Olaf is finally building some tankiness, but he's sort of stuck between finishing his Black Cleaver and finishing his Randuins. At this point, it's probably better for him to finish up his Randuins and be more tanky. But one thing I have to say is that Katrina Bot's presence this game has not been up to what we've generally seen from his standards. Maybe, it's just the fact that Diana hasn't been able to do much. But this pickup for them, what do you think? Like, has it paid off in dividends? Because he's still 2 items only, and I don't think he's at a very strong power spike, and especially the fact that he does not have Conqueror to keep himself alive for longer in team fights, and he has Phase Rush for maneuverability, might also end up making him lack more damage. And this comp lacks damage. If you look at the composition, it's only really Tryndamere who does damage. Yeah, there's some from J4, some from Olaf, but Diana is their main source of AP damage, and she has been left behind in this game.
I felt that Exulansis would have a lot of damage if their early game went a lot smoother. But unfortunately it didn't, and they're faced against a Yasuo and Aphelios that are absolute monsters right now. Everybody's just doing well. So I think for Exulansis it's a pretty rough game, especially they're not really playing to their strengths. Talking about the Diana, cat bot on that Diana, yeah, it's gonna be tough. I felt that if it wasn't a Diana pick or more of a ranged pick in the mid lane, it would have been better. Diana has managed to get a few kills off of Yasuo, but I don't think that's gonna serve enough, because I don't really recommend like 4 melee comps, especially with a ranged champ that is not a carry. So if you look at Deimos Force, they also have 4 melee, but they have a very strong range carry. And because Crixus isn't touched in the team fights, Deimos Force is just going to keep winning that way. Exulansis has to get rid of the Aphelios, and then after that look at the Yasuo. But it's going to be very hard from this point. But they can always try because they can always get caught out, and you can turn a bad situation into a good situation. So after this pause is done, I want to see how Exulansis will try to pick up the pace.
Y- Yep, and just to notify you guys, both Termi and Crixus have disconnected. It seems that both of their internets are down or power cuts happening. Not sure yet. We're still looking into that information. But basically, both of them have been disconnected. Hopefully, they come back soon, Apollonia, because it has been a great match, and specifically, both of them have played really well. Along with, I think everyone from DF have just generally did their part that they were supposed to, and like we can see more exciting games, because I was not expecting game one to go the way it did. Definitely surprised some of the performances, but the draft from Exulansis had merit in what it wanted to do, but just did not play out the way that they wanted. The Zac pickup and going in the bot lane really helped Termi get the roam from Termi, the Zac knockup really got them rolling in the bot lane, and they were just able
Yeah.
to make the most of it. And that's actually been important because they were able to shut down the bot lane along with the mid lane, and for how well top lane was thriving, Mordekaiser just did his job. He's tried to hold out his tower. He is not that behind in gold that he was. He's okay. He's still 1800 gold. Never mind. But still, 3,000 gold difference in the mid lane. Turn is at 11k and Diana is at 8k. Right. So that's like an item, almost an item away. Disadvantage that he has. So all these things will end up meaning a lot. With Baron still being up for DF, this is their time to rotate and get the inner turrets. And I feel like they definitely can win team fights pretty hard, right? If they're able to get the right engage on the right people, then I feel this is their thing. And Crow will have to play like a madman in the Soraka, playing the ambulance that he can be, trying to heal up all the Olafs and the Tryndamires in his team. And if he can survive and team fights grow prolonged, then I do see a world where Exilances win this. But DF also know that, and they will mostly try to target the Soraka because they know that is their win condition. If they get the Soraka, they more or less have finish off the team fights. So waiting to see how that pans out. We will take a quick break, guys, because the issue is still persisting. Once we get a hold of our power cut issues, we will be able to identify how soon they can be back. So till then, we'll just take a quick break.
All right, guys. Yeah, do stay tuned and let us know in the comment section which team you are supporting. Is it going to be Deimos Force or Exulansis? And we will be back very shortly.
battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. The glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. The glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. The glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Justice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the South Asia Championship League powered by LG and UltraGear. My name is Apollonia, and I'll be one of your casters today. So, right now with me is Obi. He'll be joining me, and we will have Bishi shortly. But what happened in the first game was that there were tech difficulties from Deimos Force, so it was a walkover. The first game goes over to Exulansis. Now, this is a best of three. So it's 1 point for Exulansis, who is now playing on the blue side, and Deimos Force has 2 games to try and get back into it. So right now we're in the pick and ban phase, obviously, Champ Select, and we see the Aphelios and Lulu ban, and now the Javan 4 coming out from Exulansis. Now, the previous game, Crixus did play a mean Aphelios, so that's pretty much why EXE wants to ban that out. What are your thoughts on the bans coming out from Deimos Force?
Okay, hi guys. So before I go into the bans, really, I want to address the last game. It was really unfortunate. Tommy had a really good game. Grixis has a really good game. But I would like to give all props to Exulances for giving away their pause time. They were ready to wait. They were ready to give in the pause time. They were really cooperative, and it was really good showmanship showed by Exulances. But it was just unfortunate. Grixis and Tommy couldn't connect in time. But all's not lost. It's just 1-0 down, and hopefully they can fight back. Looking at the bans right now, from the side of Exulances, we see J4, Lulu, and Aphelios being banned out. While on the side of Deimos Force, we see Graves, Wukong, and Senna being banned out. Graves is Video Gamer's most comfortable pick, so there's a no-brainer. Dead Corporal picks in that Yasuo, basically stealing it away from Tommy as well, and Dead Corporal himself plays a mean Yasuo. So it'll be really interesting to see how it pans out. Uh, Kog'Maw pick really early on is something I want to suggest, and that's a Galio pickup. So a Galio Trundle pickup. What are your thoughts on that, Apollonia?
Trundle and Galio. Well, Trundle in the jungle, we know that Forest is extremely comfortable with that pick. And Galio for Termi in the mid lane, also a decent pick. Well, I do favor Termi more on carry potential, but it looks like he's going to go for something that's more supportive. Termi is great with roam, so this is definitely going to work out for him. But the Yasuo pick on Exulances. Now, I think that Yasuo is going to go in the bot lane. We have seen it from them. Kindred with the Silas. That is something new, the Kindred. I'm not sure what their composition is, what they're going for, but it looks like a ton of damage. Silas does work nicely with Yasuo as a decent pairing. So Excelsis is on to something. The Kindred, I think that is to counter the Trundle in a sense, just to give a little bit more sustainability in fights, but it can go either way. And that is going to be the last lock in for the first pick phase, Ezreal. And Ezreal is a comfort pick for Crixus, 100%. We've seen him pull this out in multiple tournaments. So we know that this is going to be a very, very safe one. But I do also prefer Crixus on picks that have more damage. But this Ezreal, safe choice, and I think it's pretty decent.
Well, that's true. Yasuo DC is really mean on it. Video Gamer at one point used to be a one-trick Kindred pony, so it'll be really nice to see him play that Kindred. Silas would Catbot has shown us a really mean Silas, so I'm really interesting to see. Tormi is comfortable playing Galio. Tormi and Kaka, I think, are two of the mid laners in India who are really comfortable with that Galio pick. Trundle is a very nice pickup on the jungle. And Ezreal is such a safe AD carry, it can be picked without worrying too much on a counter pick. So till now, the picks and bans look kind of interesting. Mordekaiser being banned out definitely. It's Itmam's comfort pick. It's I killed Van Gogh comfort pick. Taking her out makes absolute sense. On the other side, we see an on and we see Nautilus being banned out. On is Crow's comfort pick, so banning it out makes a lot of sense, most definitely, since Crow is playing. And we see GP being banned. GP again, Itmam's pick, so the last two bans are basically being focused on Itmam right now.
All right, so this game is very likely that Crow will be in the top lane for Exulansis, and I've always seen Crow, I Killed Van Gogh, and Dick Corporal as very strong top laners whenever they're playing games, and there's always a switch up, in the roster every now and then. But IQ Vango will pick up that Urgot. Great pick, decent pick. I feel he's not too sure what the Urgot is going to go into. Exulansis can counter this pick, but we know Van Gogh in the top lane. He's always able to be safe. He can carry out what he has to do, and that is going to be a Yuumi lock-in. So Micro Ice will be playing that Yuumi. Wow. So previous game it was a Soraka for Exulansis, and now it's a Yuumi. There seems to be a trend. They like that kind of sustain coming out from one of their players. They like this the utility that it can provide. So Yuumi Yasuo bot lane, that's gonna be deadly. Ezreal is a safe pick. We're not sure what the support entirely is going to be coming up from the side of Deimos Force, and that's going to be the last pick, Shen. Shen into the Urgot, decent, and I know that the Shen is going to be used as a tool to keep Dead Corporal on that Yasuo safe.
I mean, it's again protect DC comp, and DC he's so good on the Yasuo. He's very aggressive. He constantly likes to trade. He constantly likes to punish the bot lane, and that's the thing. Yuumi Yasuo in itself is such a strong, self-sufficient lane. Kiana being picked up on the side of Tommy is really interesting. Yeah, I knew I think it was like a login bug or something. Because Kiana couldn't have been the pick right there. We'll be waiting, and we'll be right back really quickly. I think it's a technical error at this point.
Alright, guys, we are back, and this is the South Asia Championship League powered by LG Ultra Gear. Sorry, there. And my name is Apollonia. With me, co-casting is Obi. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties. We're coming down to the last pick for Deimos 4. So they're just going to speed through this, same picks until the last one. So let's talk a little bit about what Exulansis wanted to carry out this game. Now, last game they had a Soraka and Draven for bottom lane, and it was great early game, but towards the team fights there were problems that they faced, and Soraka was getting burst very easily. So now it's going to be Dead Corporal as the AD carry. Previously he played top. Now it's going to be Dead Corporal on that Yasuo with Micro Ice as the Yuumi. Now what does that pairing have for us?
I mean, Yasuo Yumi again, like we spoke, is really strong. I just want to see what bot lane will counter that. Ezreal again is a very safe AD carry. I think you need another AD carry which is going to be you need a support which will sort of poke and be safe. Uh, you cannot be really aggressive against a Yasuo Yumi bot lane. They have just way too much resources on the end. So let's see how this game pans out to be.
Yes, and we see, they're picking the same picks. It's going to be Yasuo, Kindred, and a Silas. It looks like they are going to try and meme the last pick that was wrong. They're constantly hovering over the Kiana, but never mind that. Let's just talk a little bit about the Trundle Galio. Now, Trundle, Forrest is comfortable on that pick, yes. Trundle also needs a little bit of a push. He naturally does do a good amount of damage in the early game. He has great control as well as his pillar can stop, channeling abilities and also stop gap closers. So Trundle is a very useful pick to utilize in the jungle. Ezreal against the Yasuo, Ezreal can be kind of safe, but Yasuo and Yumi, they do offer a lot of potential. Like Yumi has her ultimate which stuns, and it just sets up such a good fighting ground for that Yasuo. Now Azure would have to scale, stay safe, probably has to go a gauntlet this game. And speaking of which, now also the bans in the second phase, it is targeted towards. I'm not too sure actually why Deimos Force would ban out the. Oh, they did ban out the Northers because Yumi wasn't picked first. Yes, sorry, my mistake. So it was a Mordekaiser and Gangplank ban coming out from Exulansis. Now these bans are targeted to Van Gogh, and we know Van Gogh to be a very comfortable top laner as well. What are your thoughts on the strengths and weaknesses of these teams?
I mean, at this point, looking at purely just the lineup, both lineups look really strong. You have a Yasuo, you have a Kindred, you have a Shen. So Shen basically offers that mobility. He offers. He basically counters that Galio really well. Galio can turn any 4v5 team fight into a 5v5 team fight, or a 3v3 team fight into a 3v4 team fight. Similar is the situation with Shen. Shen ulti can also be that difference in a team fight. So Corki being picked up, Corki Ezreal can poke out, which means Rusty will be on Galio. So that's really interesting to see how this game pans out to be. Uh, Video gamer, he's gonna play Kindred, which basically means even though the team doesn't have an AD carry right now, Kindred will be acting as an AD carry post the 20-minute mark. Yasuo is gonna be the main carry. On paper, both teams look equally strong, but if I absolutely have to pick one team purely on the comp, I might have to go with Deimos Force a little bit on this one because their team fighting does look stronger. Um, Considering they have so many AoE damage resources. What are your thoughts, Apo?
So with Exulansis, I like it. They have a global with Shen, they have burst damage with Silas, they also have DPS with Yasuo and Kindred as well as utility from Yumi. If you look at Deimos Force as well, they do have burst, well, relatively. Galio is going to be the support, so that would mean a very roam heavy Galio. Now, Rusty Panda, he did play an amazing Zac support the last game, so we do know that he has tricks up his sleeve, and I hope that he will be able to deliver with this pick, especially that Galio is mostly useful um, at level 6, but it can also keep Ezreal safe from the Yasuo with, the taunt and the CC, the knockback. Corki in the mid lane takes a while to scale. I feel overall Deimos Force would take a longer time scaling. So they would have to play around their team fights and coming together after reaching level 6 where they all have their ultimates. So this will be a very strong case of which team has the better macro, has the better coordination. And we did see that Deimos Force had brilliant coordination the last game. Hopefully they will bring it to this game as well. Uh, Speaking of which, Corki mid lane. Corki mid lane is something that I feel is very much like a coin flip. Like Corki has to have a good enough boost, or he'll do in the early game, or he'll just do very mediocre throughout the entire game. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Corki mid lane for me is really about that poke. It's really about sieging. It's really about taking turrets. Against the Silas is going to be really good because Corki has his very own escape mechanism. Even Silas decides to all in, Corki can run away, and at the same time, he can just keep poking out Silas, just keep poking at him, and it'll be annoying for this. It's basically annoying to lane against the Corki mid lane because of the amount of poke the champion offers. And Corkill SG tend to work really well because of the long range pokes, just because of the pure sieging potential both of those champions have. What really for me is going to be the deciding factor in this game is the Galio and Shen ultis. In a team fight, this will be something which really matters. Whichever will be able to land their ulti first, I think. Let's say in a 3v3 fight, if a Galio manages to land in his ulti first, uh, definitely they become the stronger team. Or if a Shen is able to land in, definitely they become the stronger team. Looking at top, Urgot does have some form of CC to stop Shen, but uh, Shen relatively does very well against the Urgot because of his W. He can block in a lot of damage coming in from Urgot. So all in all, both teams look really equal on paper, and it'll be really interesting to see how this game pans out. And with this, we are going into the game.
Alright, guys, so we are out of spectators delay. Remember, you are watching the South Asia Championship League powered by LG UltraGear. Do let us know in the comments who you're supporting. And this is the second game of the best of three. Unfortunately, Deimos Force had some technical difficulties, so it was a walkover in the first game. So the first game does go to Exulansis, but they still have a fighting chance in this game and the next game. So uh, now while we're loading and everything, looking at the keystones, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Galio will pick up that aftershock, good amount of a little bit of burst damage in the bot lane. A lot of conquerors across the board, great for sustained fights as well. The Yumi is going to pick up a heal and ignite, which is a good choice because Yasuo with the exhaust, Yasuo with exhaust is great because the Yasuo is going to gauge who he wants to target, who he wants to exhaust them of the damage, slow them down, and Yumi is going to be attached to him, just providing all of that support. I feel that the key victory for Exulansis is to get Dead Corporal on that Yasuo rolling. And as for Deimos Force, it's going to be getting Crixus and Termi ahead with that damage, and hopefully these brothers can come back and carry the late game with Van Gogh, Forest, and Rusty Panda in the front line. So now we will be loading in to the second game. I'm very excited for this because it's a very anticlimactic first game, but now hopefully we get the juice that we want.
Yes, most definitely. And looking at the summoners bot lane, we have DC with an exhaust, we have Yumi with an ignite. You know for a fact these guys are looking for blood. And do we see a semi invade sort of come in?
Alright, so everybody is packed up together on the top side of the map for Exulansis. Will they drop a ward? No, they won't, but it looks like Deimos Force. Trundle will drop an early ward. This is always good to scout out where the enemy jungler might go. Are they going to invade, take your buff? Or are they just going to be staying in their own jungle and you can make your decisions from there? So everybody's guarding, the entrances of their jungles. It is very crucial because the first gank that both junglers will pull off can actually kind of make or break the early game and the pacing for your team.
Okay, we don't even have. We not only have two teams lurking in each other's jungle, we also have a caster lurking in our room. Bishi is joined in, and I would like to. I would like to transfer my stress to him and let him cast this one. So Bishi, you looked at the pick and bans. What are your thoughts till now?
Uh, I, I like that the Galio has been picked in response to the Yasuo, and then they flex the Galio bot. And like we kind of forget, but whenever Exulances and DF or RV play, right, it's a battle of two legendary supports. Both of these people have reached Grandmaster, Challenger, multiple seasons, honestly, and it's always fun to see how they end up playing their champions. And they both have picked like
I
unique
agree.
champions in both the games. Zac and J4, this time Galio and Yumi. Though Yumi, I would say, is probably a bit more cancerous in nature. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the bot lane goes. Remember the last time these guys played, Ezreal did not have a fun time. He was constantly the focus of the Yasuo. So Crixus will have to play this game a little bit different. You can see already, they have started off well with those trades at level 1.
Yes. And the dead copper on that Yasuo is absolutely annoying. He's so slippery, but he didn't manage to get that early level 2 Crixus and Rusty Panda. They know how to play into this. When Dead Copper first pulled out this pick, he was stomping on everybody. But I feel that now, opponents might get a little bit more used to it. And hopefully, both teams can get a good pacing to start this game off. And Bishi, I would like to, just ask you a little bit about this. Which team do you feel has, better damage right now? Ooh, is that a skirmish you see?
That's an insane skirmish. Exhaust
Wow.
already being used just to get some advantage. Which team has the better what? I couldn't hear you. The team fighting or the damage you're saying? I definitely think like as the game progresses, right, it's going to be the Urgot who's going to shine in team fights. Remember that the Urgot can look to press his R on a champion that's within a kindred ultimate and he can pull him out. So that's a bit of a counter matchup in a way. And you can see in level 1s already, there's going to be a 4-man gank happening. Dead Corbel's in town. The taunt latch to perfection. The heal is crazy. First blood will go down. And Dead Corbel has played this crazily well. And Red Vipers Gaming are at such a bad disadvantage in the early game as they look to lose people left, right, and center in an attempt to dive someone. They horribly misplayed that and give away 3 kills, 2 to the Yumi, 1 to the Yasuo, teleport from Silas as well. Termi's gonna go down. That's an insane advantage going to Exulansis in the early game.
Oh, they're really pumping all of their energy and resources into the bottom lane. That was a brilliant fight. That has just put Exulansis very ahead. A 2k gold lead this early, 4 minutes into the game. That is kind of tough. And now, especially with a champion like Yasuo, Deimos Force has to play from behind a little bit, it seems. And Yumi with the 2 kills, ooh, she's just gonna back and be able to pick up a very early Forbidden Idol, and that's just gonna be more insane heals.
That this is so bad. The early game could not have gotten worse for them. Honestly, they did not have enough hard CC, and with Yumi having heal, ignite, her own heal, and hiding under the Yasuo, there was no way that Trundle had enough damage to actually outtrade this, and they horribly misunderstood the damage output, and this cost them a massive disadvantage in the early game. It also allows them to get a lot of kills, Exulansis, so they're in a very happy spot. At this point, both the teleports also have been blown right here. So Exulansis have gotten off to a great start, and let's see what they can do with this lead up loader, because they definitely needed to start snowballing, because I feel the later this game goes, the double AD carry composition from RV would just end up being stronger. But now with how strong Yumi is and how the kills have come, it's looking really good for Exulansis.
Yes, and it seems that even with a little bit of lead, the CS difference this early in the game is by 1.5 waves, which is kinda odd. No, actually 2 waves, which is kinda odd, but that early cull on Hermine. Now, he would have to just look to safely farm and then change that item into his advantage. But looks like Cole's gonna get flipped.
Yeah, that's honestly not a great matchup for the Shen at all. The Urgot has so much agency right here. Crixus is gonna be in trouble, but look at this. Video Gamer gets caught out, does not have flash. The Yumi heal is there, but Video Gamer will die. And finally, Red Viper respond back. It's a beautiful double stun from Dead Corporal Naria. So that's gonna be a 1-0. The kill goes over. Never mind, they want to fight more. The Shen ult is also there. Can they kill him? The ultimate also comes from Urgot. I do not think that's a fight that they take, because there's no level 6 on the Yasuo. Dead Corporal is running for his life. Can he survive? No, he cannot. The Urgot ultimate drags. Yumi runs away. That's a flash to taunt the Shen and the Yumi. And here comes Corki as well. And Red Vipers Gaming are on fire in this team fight. Shen can do what he can, but iKill Van Gogh is going to tank everything. Termi gets a kill for himself. So does iKill Van Gogh. And that's going to be a 4-0 right here for Red Vipers Gaming.
Oh, that was absolutely brilliant TP coming in from Van Gogh. It was a 3v2 situation for Deimos Force, but Exulansis had the backup. They had the Shen ulti come in, and unfortunately they did lose their jungler very early. But the way that DF followed up, they did have all 5 members down in the bot lane. It was extremely worse because now it is even. They're back in the game just from a very, very good setup. Now, I feel that Deimos Force has really picked up the pace, especially with Vango now in the team with them. They're just exuding so much synergy, so much teamwork. It's actually a treat to watch. And I feel that, you can't overlook them. Like, Exulansis cannot underestimate Deimos Force.
Yep, and with those two crazy skirmishes, the first one going heavily in Exulance's favor, and the second one going in favor of DF, the game is sort of at an even standpoint. The taunt does land, however, it's a nice use of wind wall. Rusty Panda could be in trouble. Teleport here comes from the Shen. The taunt will land. That will be a kill on to Rusty Panda. EXE Crow picks that up for himself. That's the advantage of having a Shen, right? You can go in bot twice, once with the teleport and once with your ultimate. So they get the kill on to Rusty Panda. And that will definitely secure the first dragon for Exulansis. So in the early game, we've seen 10 kills in 8 minutes, Apollonia, and it's become a very explosive game, very fun to watch, honestly, because both teams are fighting like, left, right, and center right here.
Yeah, it's like Deimos Force comes back. They want to redeem themselves. They had a great first game going for them, but unfortunate events occur at the time that you least want it to happen. But great TP from Crow. To pick up a kill, they also managed to control that dragon, and the first Drake, which was a mountain Drake, goes over to Exulansis. Now, across the board, all teams... Ooh, Yasuo is going in really ham. Is this going to be another breakout?
Yeah, he's going to die. He has to die. There's nothing he can do at this point. And that's a beautiful, beautiful focus. And Fury, Crixus can almost look to 1v3. There's no help for him, unfortunately. And that's some really good targeting. Like, Rusty Panda came twice and he died. He's going to be really behind in levels right now. And Exulances are making perfect use of that bot lane. And the fact that the kill goes over, I think it went over to the Kindred, I think. That was really helpful because Kindred was falling behind. Now she is level 6. So she is on equal terms. And again, Exulances are trying to put the pressure up in the bot lane that they have done in the past as well whenever, Crixus is on Ezreal, and they're looking to do the same thing right here again. So this should be fun to see how this pans out. No level 6 for Rusty Panda yet, no exhaust either. He comes back to lane for the third time and will lose out on EXP because he is half a level behind the Yumi as well.
Yasuo does have the most amount of gold on the map. Now, what I realized is that Deck Corporal is a key component to Exulansis. Last game, he did perform very well in the top lane with the Tryndamere pick, very aggressive. And now putting him in the AD carry role is a good choice by Exulansis because he seems to be very reliable. Ganks can be pulled off, he can follow up, and he has overall really good synergy with Micro Ice. Now, that is the strength that I feel gets all of us very hyped about Exulansis. Whereas for Deimos Force, I felt it's always been about, both the carries and then Rusty Panda just to top everything off. But right now, Vango is actually he does provide a lot with the team because every TP or roam that he makes, there is a good advantage that can be taken out from it. Now, the Herald actually just went down to Kindred. Video Gamer did pick up the first dragon and now also will pick up the Herald. Great jungle control in my opinion.
Yeah, he was 500 gold behind a couple of minutes ago. He just power farmed the hell out of his jungle and he just got the Scuttle Cap as well. And now he's actually even in gold. So now you can see that the gold lead is going to be in favor of Exulansis. That is mostly in the bot lane. Every other lane is probably even Stevens at this point. And yes, it is. It's the 800 gold advantage that's on the bot side. The Yumi has finished her Athene's Unholy Grail, which is a really strong power spec in the early game. The amount of heals and shields that she can get you right now is going to be crazy. And level 6 has finally been reached on to Rusty Panda on that Galio. So this could be a way for them to do something. But with Shen ult being there as well, without any teleport from Orgot, it's going to be... I feel like another 4-man, 5-man bots happening. I can feel it right here. I don't know why. I can feel it might happen. It's been crazy. But in the mid lane as well, you can see, Trunda is trying to look for a gank. I don't know if it will work or not. Maybe looking for a counter gank at this point. We'll have to wait and see.
I think Galio was looking for an opportunity there as well. But Wow, I'm just so mesmerized. Like, you know, the bot lane keeps me at the edge of my seat because their combo is so slippery, and Crixus, you know, he's aggressive as well. So he's standing really close to this Yasuo, and I'm just thinking like, wait, is he gonna get caught out and die? Because you can't underestimate Yasuo and Yumi. There's slows, there's stuns, there's everything. There's burst damage. You
Yep.
know?
Yep, and that's what I like about these top tier teams, right? They play to the edge of their champions' abilities, and that's what you end up like
Yeah.
liking, right? They don't fear. Oh my God, there's a Yasuo, let's just play safe, right? Like that's not what Crixus wants to do. Crixus is like, okay, I'm gonna poke you as much as I can because I have a Sheen, I have the ability to poke. My Qs do proc on hit, but now with the second dragon coming in just a few seconds, 38 seconds to be precise, this might potentially be time for another crazy ass team fight. Teleport is up, mind you, and now could be Dead Corporal or sorry, I Killed Van Gogh could potentially look to back. Does he have enough? No, he does not have enough for his back cleaver. Never mind then. And the catch is on to the video gamer. They're like, you know what, video gamer, that's a Shenal being used very, very fast, and he could be in trouble. Here comes the Galliot as well. Oh, look who's in trouble. Katrina Marash in trouble. It's a beautiful taunt. That's a beautiful Kindred ultimate as well. This is going to be Exulansis winning or Red DF winning. We don't know. There's Yasuo as well. They get us team 1 for 2 so far, and this is going to be EXE really, really winning out this team fight. The Kindred ult was massive at this point, and now Dead Corporal will slay one more. That's a 4 for 1 at the end of the day. Yes, they lose a jungler, but EXE came out super strong in that team fight. The focus on Kindred, but the ultimate from Kindred saved his teammates, and how?
Absolutely brilliant team fight coming out from Exulansis, and that is truly the power of their picks. You know, Silas and Yasuo, they just deal so much damage, whereas Deimos Force, they have picks like Corki and Ezreal. They got a scale. Ezreal was extremely safe, but the damage just could not compare, and now Dead Corporal and Micro Ice, you know, best friends forever, just gonna start this dragon.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the second Drake over to Exulansis.
Yasuo, yeah, and Yasuo becomes massive at this point because now he has 3 kills in himself. He has 1800 gold. That's going to be a completed Phantom Dancer and probably another damage item. So now, like, Dead Corporal has been set up to carry this game. And even Katrina, you thought he was caught out, but it's a very smart use of his flash. He gets a couple of kills for himself. So both the main carries, the main damage dealers of Exulansis have gotten great kills. And now they're at a point where, once they go back, they will have 1 completed, 1.5 completed items. And this is where they can really look to take the pressure ahead, because know that Ezreal needs some time to scale, so does the Corki. Once they finish their main damage dealing items is where you can see that they can start winning these team fights. But the early game, with the kind of composition that EXE had, they definitely had the have the advantage. And in the dragon fight also it showed, like the fact that everyone just played out so well. The Shen ulti being clutch to save Video Gamer on that Kindred, and then Kindred's own ultimate to save his own teammates, and then everyone just not being sure what to do is really important. So EXE have a great momentum swing post the last fight, and now it's up to them to continue that aggression. And if they can get towers and if they can get things done, then you can look at this series being a 2-0.
The Herald was dropped by Kindred in the bot lane. They are going to force this, and that will be the first tower taken by Exulansis. Great bit of macro play there, getting that early tower gold for the Yasuo. At this point, I think Dead Corporal is actually unstoppable, and Deimos Force has to look for a way to buy time and wait for the carries to scale, because it's going to be hard to match the damage at this point. Now, looking at... Oh, Vango's taking...
No, he can win this. He can win this if he wants to. He just has to press R. I don't know why Crow's taking a trade like that. You do not take a trade like that at all. You don't realize it's a Black Cleaver freaking Urgot. You use your W up. You don't win that trade. And that was a mistake from Crow. Out and out right there. And that's scary, Apollonia, because if an Urgot gets items in these team fights with Conqueror stat, and you know how easy to proc that Conqueror with his W being on perma, he is level 11, mind you. There is a lot of damage on this DF composition, and any small advantages like these that sort of, keep the goal lead within 2k more is still a win for DF, because if this game goes to 10-15 minutes, right, then their composition has more than enough burst damage to kill a lot of these people. So
yeah, I would like to point out, right, that Exulansis has a team composition that cannot mess up, because they have such they have champions that have a specific role to carry out, and the skill cap is pretty high. And if they aren't able to pull off what they have to, like Yasuo getting like a two-man knockup, Silas being able to burst down a target, especially Silas having maybe Galio and Ezreal's outs worth stealing, Urgot within reason, it can go downhill for Exulansis, but their team fights have to be played to absolute perfection. Whereas Deimos Force, there's a little bit more leeway there. And you did speak about the Urgot with the Black Cleaver. Right now, Vengo is in a good spot, and they've got to utilize him to be able to buy time for their carries, to scale. And there's this common thing of buying culls on the side of Deimos Force. So, Urgot and Corki with that cull, they are looking to scale, they are looking for the mid to late game, as opposed to Exulansis.
Yeah, I have to give them credit, okay? Both of their culls are gonna, like, Termi's cull is already used up, so he has a lot of influx of gold, and even Urgot, right? So, very, very well pointed out that they are scaling for the late game, and I do feel like, once these AD carries in the mid and AD carry reposition hit like 2 or 3 items, then these team fights are really gonna be in their favor. I feel like, unless, of course, Deimos Force EXE can get a great engage off, but now the Shen is perpetually going to be needed. Shen cannot match the Urgot anymore, because he himself will operate for a very aggressive build with the Tiamat and the finished Titanic Hydra. He does not have any sort of Bramble West or Tabai finished yet. So at this point, Ikil Vango has all the pride in the world in the bot lane, but top lane is where EXE are at, and they have been like just on objective control this game, because they've gotten both the dragons and both the heralds, and that's something we always appreciate with Exulansis, right? They know how to take their objectives and they know how to press their leads, and that's exactly what they're doing in the top lane. That 1000 goal lead again goes back to 2000, but let's see if they can hold off this siege or if they can do something more, because teleport is not up from Urgot, but Shen ult is still up.
The macro plays are a lot cleaner coming out from Exulansis right now, and I have a feeling that it's due to micro ice. Now, Sam, he's known to love rotating, love playing the macro game, and he can kind of just chill on Yumi and just direct his team where to go. That's why they're able to push the lead so hard. 2 towers for Exulansis, that is brilliant. Yasuo could be picking fights, but instead they are going for the objectives, which I feel is the proper way to play, especially in 5v5s. Now let's just go over the scoreboard, just have a look at items. Silas and Yasuo, they have got their first item completed, which is great. And Corki as well as Ezreal also have their first items, but we can see that Exulansis still has more damage, and is Tommy gonna get caught out? No, he is not. Right now, Deimos Force has to do something with like a team fight or a skirmish. They have to stop this snowballing.
The third dragon is spawning. Yeah. This is going to be the next big team fight. Termi is going to go back. Can he get something with this? Yeah, probably can get a Sheen for himself. A small bit of power spike. The important thing, however, is the finished Iceborne Gauntlet and the Muramana from our boy Fuclixes. But yet again, they're so late on the rotation, and EXE just on point. The moment dragon came, they spawned and they took it. Maybe it was a conscious call by DF to give it up, because they know they're scaling. They know they can give up one more. But Corki with the package right here, can this still be a fight? Will the Madman Termi go in on a video gamer? He does have his ultimate, mind you. Shen ultimate's also there. Decides not to. So again, EXE come out with a free objective. 3 dragons, 2 heralds, 2 towers. Pretty much playing League of Legends by the book right here. And that's going to be like something that I think DF is consciously choosing to give up, because I can't help but feel that they know that they might not be at their power spikes that needed to win this yet, and they just like, you know what, guys, farm up, get to my Triforce, get to my third item. I'm hoping Fury is going to build his Death Dance, because that's the thing we've seen in LCK recently. Ezreal with Iceborne and Death Dance, basically Yasuo cannot kill him at all if he gets those items, and it's going to be really fun. And even Ikil Vango is on his way to a Death Dance. So 2 Death Dance on the team will mean that they will survive for longer. These team fights will live stream for longer, and the longer these fights go, I feel the damage coming out from Crixus and Termi will be just massive, unless of course one of them dies, in which case they won't be. So
yeah, you have made a very good point, because these items are extremely important for Ezreal, and their team fights, it's all about survivability and being able to last through the whole combo and death of the whole combo and the sheer dominance from the kits that Exulansis has. If Deimos Force can position themselves and stay very wary of that Yasuo, the ulti is dropped. What's happening, Bishi?
I've no idea, but they saw a chance to kill a very tanky Rusty Panda, end up using Shen ult, and honestly, like, I don't think that was worth at all. Yeah, they got the flash on the support, but yeah, he has X flash anyways, and Shen ult being down is an important cooldown. But I like what they've done. EXE is not sending Shen in the bot lane. They're actually sending the Silas to match the Urgot, which I think is still a better option. And the fight can happen. Will they look to trade? Never mind. They decide not to. But the fact that Shen ult is down is good for them. They can be the sigh of relief and look to farm up. Notice, however, Apollonia, it's been 20 minutes. The goal lead has still remained the same. It's that 1.5k, 2k goal difference. So it's not like EXE, even though they have taken towers and dragons, have gotten a big gold advantage yet. And if this keeps going on until the next 5 to 10 more minutes, yes, the Yasuo will be fed, but so will 3 other carries on DF, right? And that's something that DF is looking to play out really well. So this is still, I feel, tidily a bit small, like going in favor of DF. They are happy just farming up. Tormi just wants to get to his Triforce. Crixus has already gotten his anti-healing item, which is the Executioner's Calling. So they are in a good spot, and I feel the next team fight, the next dragon will be heavily contested. So we'll have to wait and see what happens at that time. It could potentially even be a trade, like EXE could just give DF the dragon and be like, you know what, take it guys, it's fine. Instead, we will take the Baron in for us. Meanwhile, there's a fight in the top lane. This could be trouble. Oh my lord. Lot of damage. Here comes the ult from the Galio. And that was important because he would have died, and now they're running away. Termi has his flash, mind you. The ulti has been stolen. That's a nice usage of flash, but he will look to go down. Mila in the bot lane. There's another fight happening. Can this be enough? No, it cannot. The ultimate has flipped, and even Galio is in trouble, and Galio's gonna go down. And my lord, things are not going in favor. And here comes Shen with an ultimate. Unfortunately, not to be proven enough, but that could potentially be Baron because Silas has gone bot, and Kindred, Yasuo and Yumi are going to get the Baron.
Oh no! So that was a 2-for-1, and Exulansis definitely came out on top of that. Is Vango and Forest going to look for this kill? They could actually potentially win this if they do play this out right.
Oh my god, Katarina bot, what a chat on that kill! He kills the Urgot and he double kills, gets a double kill. This is going to be hard. Oh my lord! Oh, never mind. I thought it was a steal, but never mind. Kindred smited really well. I thought that Q hit. And suddenly Exulansis got what they needed, Apollonia. They got the important kills that Katarina bot simply outclasses the I Kill Vango and Forest on that Trundle and Urgot. And now they are definitely looking like the snowball is happening. This is what they needed really badly, and they got it. Baron on their hands, the 4th dragon spawning in less than 30 seconds. This is going to be Exulansis. If they win this dragon fight, I think it's going to be their snowball completed because they are looking extremely strong right now.
Yeah, there was a bit of a macro problem coming out from Deimos Force, getting caught out in top and then bot lane, not being sure what they want to do. Are they going to back off? Are they going to fight this? It's just not looking very bright for them because I think they're playing from behind, so the confidence isn't there. But it is going to be the 4th drink, and we can see Exulansis is doing everything in their power to secure this soul, and that will be a Cloud Soul, which will just...
There is a teleport, there is an ultimate, there is a fight happening. Video Gamer goes in. There is the Corki package as well. They get the Soul Dragon, but what do they lose? They lose 2 people. Yasuo gets exhausted. That's gonna be a very bad team fight. Yumi is alive. Yumi has no flash. Yumi is a sitting duck. Pop, dead. Double kill for Ezreal. And that's gonna be a 4-for-1. A 4-for-0? Yes, they get the Cloud Soul, but was the Cloud Soul enough for them to lose 4 people? Oh, here comes Katarina bot. Katarina bot will get 1 kill back for himself. No, he will not. That's a very smart usage of the Trundle ultimate. And this could potentially be the inhibitor tower. Katarina bot's a lone survivor. Can this madman do something? Or will he just allow the tower to be taken? We'll have to wait and watch. Of all the drakes that they could give up, honestly, Apollonia, Cloud Drake is not the worst one to give up. So it's completely fine that they gave it up. And yeah, they get some kills back, which is important. And now they will make a retreat for themselves, unless of course they want to fight again.
Especially, now with the new Elder,
10 ulti, Shen ulti is there from the back, double taunt, I'm not sure if this is important, but oh my lord, it's a beautiful usage of the Urgot E. Galliot as well. Exulansis have bitten off more than they can chew. Ultimate lands onto the Kindred as well. A beautiful, beautiful fear as well. Oh my god, just out of nowhere, Exulansis end up trying to make a cheeky play with the Shen, taunting with nobody else in sight, lose 4 more people, and the game just suddenly topples like a bunch of dominoes falling for Exulansis, and DF right now have gotten 4 more kills. They can look to potentially end the game, Apollonia. It's 15-20 seconds left. This could at least be 1 inhibitor out of 2, and Cranko or Microice is doing what he can, but what can he do enough? We don't know for sure. Here comes I Kill Vango. That's 1 tower going down, 2 towers going down. Nobody is up. My lord, the throws for Exulansis are real, boys. We are going to game 3 in the semifinals.
Oh my gosh, GG, well played to Deimos Force. Now that is the problem when you do not close games early. You underestimate your opponent. You were leading, but Deimos Force, they got their core items. They stuck together. They knew they could win team fights there and then. It looked like they didn't have a plan, but they knew exactly when they could fight together. Wow, what? That was so climatic. Like, I did not expect that. I had goosebumps.
Anticlimactic. I know. You suddenly thought Exulansis have got this. They got the Barret. They'll get the soul, and everything will be fine. And they just lose. Like literally, the first team fight they lose, we understand because they were just tunneling on the dragon. The second one where they like teleported Crow bot lane and Crow was alone. Like doesn't matter if he lands a taunt. Silas Silas tries to E in and Urgot very smartly uses his own E to kind of stun him back, and they insanely kill him. I Kill Vango had a very good performance on this Urgot, mind you, and this is a champion they need to now consider either banning or picking them for themselves. And guys, you are watching the first semi-final of the TEC South Asia Championship League powered by LG between Exulansis and Deimos. For the score is tied at 1-1. Do not go anywhere. Game 3 will be starting in just a few minutes. Will DF look to take this victory, or will EXE come back and try to make this a 2-1? Is something we'll find out in just a few minutes.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear Gaming Monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear Gaming Monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. battle. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the South Asia Championship League powered by LG UltraGear. My name is Apollonia, and I'll be one of your casters today. Co-casting with me this game is Obi. Now, it is 1-1. Exulansis versus Deimos Force. So, Exulansis is on the blue team, and Deimos Force is on the red. This is a best of 3 semi-finals. The winner of this game will go to the finals, and I'm super excited. How are you feeling, Obi?
Okay, last game, let's say till the 25th minute mark, we were all thinking, okay, uh, Exulance is going to win this. It looks comfortable for them. And then out of nowhere came probably the worst throw I have seen in LoL India in the longest time. One team fight, they threw it all, and Deimos Force could just end the game. So even though it was quite tilting, I hope Exulansis has a fresh set of mind going into this game. We see the same bans coming in from both sides, the exact same bans coming in from both sides as last game, and DC being DC picking up Yasuo again as the first pick. Okay, so it's like eh, this is just some things I don't understand. It's just wait, am I having a repeat telecast of game two or is this actually game three?
It's actually happening. Dead Corporal back on that Yasuo pick. Now he performed well with that. It was just that Exulances didn't make some of the best decisions, and they did throw the last game. And kudos to Deimos Force for spotting that mistake and realizing that they had an advantage. They took advantage of their mistake and ended the game. So that first pick, Yasuo for Dead Corporal on the side of Exulances, I think it's fine. It's pretty good. Trundle and Galio. Yes, it is a
Wait,
repeat
wait,
of
hold
game
up,
2.
hold up. I see Yasuo, I see Trundle, I see Galio, I see Kindred being picked up in the same order. Wait. This has to be a repeat telecast. I can't be watching a live game right now. Like, hold up. I don't understand what's going on. It's the same picks in the same order.
Yes, and I think they're going to stick with what works. Now, if Demos Force plans to pull out the same composition, I don't think it's going to be wise because they did not have an easy early game. They have to start changing it up a little bit. So that Yasuo, Kindred, and Silas on Exulansis, they did play that the last game. Yasuo for Dead Corporal, video game on the Kindred, and it was Katarina bot on that Silas. But it looks like the first 3 picks for both teams will be the same picks. I don't know if this is planned, if they want a rematch, but we know that Exulansis comp was much better in the early game. Is this going to be a wise decision from Deimos Force? I don't know. They can't be relying on the mistakes of their enemy to get through this series and make it to the finals.
I mean, at this point, it's just like, okay, you need to ban Yumi right now because Exulances lost because of a mistake. It's not the comp was bad. It's not the comp was flawed. It's they missed a fight really bad. They messed up everything, and that's why they lost. And again, you see the same bans coming in from uh, the exact same bans coming in. You've kept the Yumi open. I sometimes don't understand Demos Force pick bans at all. Uh, it's you could see the well versed. You could see, and that's the Urgot ban coming in. So uh, that's what that's where the problem with Demos Force starts. They understood Exulances understood that Urgot was sort of being a problem last time, and they sort of banned it out. Demos Force, however, oblivious to that fact entirely. They let uh, Yasuo be open. They're leaving Yumi open. So uh, I think we could see a Yasuo Yumi bot lane again. And honestly, I just know I'm so confused this game. Itmam, on the other hand, gets his comfort pick. That's a GP, but I don't know how much of a difference GP is going to make this game. But more or less, we are seeing the exact same comp from last game being carried forward over here.
Well, Vango did play extremely well on that Urgot pick. I really liked it a lot. And now he does get Gangplank, something he's very comfortable with. But given with his team composition that doesn't have a very heavy front line. I'm not sure what the plan for Deimos Force is going to be. Now, for Exulansis, they did switch up the Yumi pick and oh wow. So it's gonna be a Soraka and a Set. Now Set in the top lane. The last game they had a different top laner. It was for the life of me I couldn't
Shen, it was Shen.
it was Shen, yes.
Okay, so Shen made more sense against Urgot because he relies a lot on um, auto attacks, plus it's a really good counter to Galio. Plus, I mean, it's really nice to lane against Urgot with the Shen, but right now you have a GP, so we see the set, we see Soraka being picked up, and on the side of Exulances, you have basically a similar comp with uh, changes coming in from Soraka and Set. Set's gonna go top, Soraka is gonna go your support. And on the side of Deimos Force, it's the exact same comp except you have a top GP. So looking at both teams on board right now, I don't know why I kind of like Yasuo in the bot. So um, l- and the ulti is just really good on the side of Exulances. So on paper, the comp on the side of Exulances looks a bit stronger to me since they have Silas who can steal a Gangplank ulti, a Galio ulti. It's just too much of a nuisance coming in. What are your thoughts on the comps, Apollonia?
Ooh, okay. So these compositions are very much different. Now there isn't a well, Set you can say is a front line for Exulances, but he is the front line. He is a hard front line. He can build tank, he can build damage. Set is going to be their front line. Now Yasuo with the Soraka, the whole team composition, we know what Exulansis wants. It's very step 1, 2, and 3. Set goes in, Silas follow up, Kindred and Yasuo also follows up. There's a little bit of help from Set and Silas. Kindred hitting from the back and Soraka providing all of that utility. We know the plans for Exulansis. For Deimos Force, it gets a little bit more interesting because you see we have that Gangplank. Now Gangplank can offer a bit of assistance once he hits level 6, with the global ultimate. They do not have globals on the side of Exulances. Deimos Force has that Galio, but Galio is the support. He can roam as well. Now, the front line for Deimos Force can be Trundle, it can be Galio. Galio can go to the back. Ezreal and Corki will keep hitting the targets, and Gangplank does the burst. Now, they are a full AD composition as compared to Excellences. It's going to be very easy to itemize against them. So I think Deimos Force has to watch out for that. But how it's all going to play out, I think it lies in the early game. And right now, Excellences looks like they have a much stronger early game, in my opinion. But, you know, because the Yasuo, they pump so much resources into the Yasuo. And it could be that they are running a double teleport as well. So that double teleport, it's gonna be Excellence's fashion to just spam it into the bottom lane. Like always be bought 24/7. Let's get the corporal fat. And this time they're gonna be sure not to make that same mistake and troll like the last game.
Also, there's something Demos Force kind of mixed last game was Exulances. They like when video gamer is on Kindred. Exulances really bring in that support for video gamer to get on the marks. So they'll be constantly rotating. They'll be constantly helping video gamer secure those marks and become stronger on the Kindred. And we didn't see a lot of counterplay coming in from Demos Force last time to stop them on the marks. It was just a really bad throw on the side of Exulances. But I hope Demos Force has a really strong strategy going in this game. They do have the momentum, definitely. They looked really strong first game. It was an unfortunate DC, but they still looked really strong and dominant. Second game, they were struggling in the start, but they somehow managed to pull their socks up, pull themselves back into the game, and were able to carry out the second game. So going into the third game, they are certainly the favorites right now, seeing that Exulance has been struggling both game one and game two, and they have the momentum on their side. So, uh, do you think Demos Force will be able to close in finally this time?
Well, considering the struggles that Demos Force has faced, I would like to think now is the time where they really have their head in the game. Like they had the worst possible scenarios happen to them, and I feel that they do have the carry potential, provided that they do keep up with their team communication and they make sure that that all of their team fights are coordinated, because they do lose out when team fights aren't coordinated or they overestimate the damage that they have. If they stick to knowing when their damage spike comes around and they fight to their advantage, they can take this third game. And looking at it, Ezreal, Gangplank, and Corki, they do need time to scale. And Exulansis are beasts at the early game, so they have to be very careful with the set, Silas, Yasuo, and the Soraka, because those are very difficult to deal with early picks. They also Deimos Force also has to try and focus on dragon control, because Exulansis is doing an amazing job with dragon control, and that's something I feel that a lot of teams should learn from Exulansis. So we have left the spectator delay. We are now in the loading screen. All of the keystones, it looks pretty standard. Set with the Omni Stone, we can pretty much figure. Wait. Oh yes. Okay. Sorry. Dead Corporal with the TP. Okay, and we see set with an ignite in the top lane. Now we don't normally see that. We usually see TP being run by the top laner and the mid laner, but in this case, it's going to be the AD carry and the mid laner for Exulansis. Why do you think it's there? How come Crow is so willing to take that ignite, or is he going to be in the bottom lane?
I mean, they really like to flex roles, so at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Set even decides to go bot. And yes, Set has decided to go bot. You see a Relic Shield coming up on that Set. So it's going to be a Soraka Set bot. It's going to be DC way up in the top. And that does change a few things. It makes the game a little more interesting. And yeah, I mean, Set with Omni Stone is really nice because he constantly has those the what do you call them? Those runes coming in and those runes changing, and whenever he gets that phase rush, he can really catch up to people real fast. So I really like that support set meta going in, but support set with the Raka is something I'm not entirely convinced because I mean you giving the farm to the Raka, but you're a support set, so I don't really understand how would that work, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so Exulansis has a very interesting composition. That's why, we're paying a little bit of attention to it. Now, putting this set with Soraka in the bot lane and a Kindred jungle. Now, I think they are playing up the roles, but it's still pretty much standard. You have the tank, and then you have the utility, and you also have the AD carry, but the AD carry is in the jungle. Now, they're just switching it up. Maybe it's just to tailor to their very odd playstyle. They are not conventional, they do not play conventional carries. So Exulansis is going to try and maybe bamboozle Deimos Force a little bit. But we also cannot underestimate Deimos Force. They do have solid scaling picks. Now whether they can reach the mid to late game or reach the time they get their core, that will be a completely different story. We see Tummy and Katarina bot, they did exchange a little bit of damage, nothing too much. And Rusty Panda, he didn't have a very good previous game, the second game, but hopefully he will, be able to redeem himself, especially we'll try to see more game-changing Galio ultimates coming out from him. And Micro Ice is going to be the one that is farming. So it's the Soraka farm. We did see in the first game, it didn't pay off so well having the Soraka farm, but Crow was playing it that time. But I do hope to see, that this Soraka will pay off, especially with the cute little Doran's ring start. Oh, and there is a sneak up gank. Video Gamer is going to try and put all in onto GP. Nothing's going to happen. There is a bit of a skirmish in bot lane. Rusty Panda does flash. Here comes in Trundle. Micro Ice is being dropped very low, the exhaust. And there is going to be first blood for Forest. And a flash onto Crow, but not quite. Crow does survive. First blood to Deimos Force. Brilliant gameplay right there.
I mean, I was kind of expecting it. Set Soraka bot lane is just so weird. You don't have enough CC, you don't have enough poke. It's not like a Yasuo where you can just all in and just dish a lot of damage and just sort of scare Crixus away, where you have a Yumi just constantly pocketing you. It's not like that. But DC did put Itmam in bit of a shock going up top with that Yasuo. Yasuo kind of does pretty well against a GP, and that you can see he's just harassing Itmam the moment he steps out of bounds. So it'll be really interesting to see. But bot lane, I don't have much hope from them on the bot lane. Again, you see the gang going in. That's a lot of damage, and Crow falls very low. It's just
Oh, and that is the Trundle trying to come in with the Pillar of Ice. You see, this is the problem with the Set in Soraka bot lane. Set did put in an amazing amount of damage, but it feels like Soraka does not have the kit to follow up and secure those kills. And Quixus, meanwhile, is just free hitting. It's easy. Tami is going to be a little out of mana, but everything's going to be a little bit fine. It's going to be a farming lane, you know. Tami did prove that on this Corki pick, he is going to farm very safely. There's a bit of a change. No Carl this time on the Corki, so he's going for a little bit more of an aggressive start. I think that's going to work out fine for him. The dragon is going to come up very soon. In 10 seconds, it is a Cloud Drake. Now, is Exulansis going to be able to secure this like how they always do? We will see very shortly. Video Gamers already on the bottom side of the map. Trundle is on the top side. Might want to give Gangplank a little bit of a push. Now, Van Gogh will be likely... Oh no, he's not going to hit 6 very soon. But once he does, hopefully, you know, he'll be able to make a very game-changing decision with that ultimate. Katarina bot engaging on Tami. Just a bit of damage, but not much going to come out from that. And that is... Ooh, the ping's coming out for the dragon. It looks like Exulansis wants to start this. It's very typical of them. Van Gogh just pushing in to Dead Corporal. Now, you know this Dead Corporal and Van Gogh top lane, I find it to be very juicy. They're great top laners, great mechanical skill, and it's always just such a treat to watch who comes out on top.
that's really true. And as we can see, I mean,
Coming in with that Predator. Did he activate that Predator? Yes, he did. And is he going to fight? Not quite. Oh, so the Predator is still up. So it's a very aggressive bot lane, but I feel that it's not wise for the set to go in because there's just not enough damage and follow-up that's going to be able to come out from that Soraka, I feel.
that's true. I mean, I don't really understand what a set Soraka bot lane is. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's not enough damage. There's just not enough poke. There's nothing coming in being offered. I have to give props to Crow though for keeping up on the farm, but I really don't know how this game's gonna pan out. I'm not a huge fan of the bot lane, the set Soraka bot lane coming in, and that does allow Galio to roam in quite freely though. So again, Ani, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel that this Soraka set is a setup for team fights. I feel that what Exulansis might want to do is put that set, you know, in the front line Soraka for the utility. When it comes to the grouping up, when it hits the 15-minute mark, that might be the plan for Exulansis, and we can see that, you know, in about 8 to 10 minutes. Don't worry, I think they have something in store for us. But right now we can see the lead is going over to Deimos Force. They do have a little bit more gold. CS-wise, they are doing well, except for the Yasuo and Gangplank matchup. Dead Corporal is absolutely destroying the CS game up in that top lane, and that's going to be good for Exulansis. And engage the Crow, throwing out that the punch. Not much is going to come out of that.
That's true. And we see DC sort of again poking, and at the same time, like, it's a pretty even game going in. That's a gang going in bot. Rusty takes in a lot of damage. He will fall down. We have the jungle coming in. Pixis does deal a lot of damage to Crow. Crow will fall down as well. And now they're focusing all their damage onto the Raka. There is a spectator delay. We are back into the game.
And I am still stuck on the spectator delay. I'm not worried. That was a brilliant matchup. It is a 1-for-1.
And that's a 1-for-1. Meanwhile, Tommy and Katrina are trading blows in the mid lane. Catbot will seal in the ulti on the Tommy. And here comes in Forest, Catbot, however, has a lot of HP, has a level advantage. He will just be able to walk out of it. And he's just stealing ultimate on the Corki and he's just trying to poke him out as much as he can. So yeah, we see DC sort of being he's sort of been able to farm really well. He's about 30 CS ahead of Itmam, so that puts him really ahead. And meanwhile, the other CS are really nice. Catbot being cheeky comes in and steals away that scuttle. Trundle will have to back out of this fight. And okay, so we are having some sort of technical difficulties. I'm so sorry, you guys. And we see Deimos Force has started on the dragon. We have that Cloud Drake coming in, and
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear Gaming Monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth.
Turret plating will soon fall.
This'll send them running.
I hope this works!
This'll send them running.
Such befalls.
This'll send them running.
Alright, hello guys, and we are back. I'm so sorry, there was a lot of spectator delays, and for some reason it wouldn't load, but now we are fine. I think there's a bit of data bugs, but we are back into the game. So what did we miss out? Any dragons were secured, so there's a bit of a bug on the dragons that have been secured as well. And it looks like it's 2-6, and Deimos Force clearly has a lead.
टीम का क्या हो गया? Hello. Okay.
Shine once more before the end.
You let your guard down!
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Eat this!
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has reconnected.
All right, hi guys, and we are back. So it was very unfortunate, a few tech difficulties, but I hope that you guys managed to see some of the team fights that did break down, and a few replays and all of that. But we're Gucci, good. So what we've missed out on is the fact that Deimos Force is completely smashing the competition right now. Let's just slowly go down the board. We see that I killed Vango on that Gangplank pick 006. That is brilliant because, GP, as long as he can get early assists and slowly get his items and scale into the late game, he becomes extremely useful. Forrest is doing work and completely showing up Video Gamer at this point. Termi has his 2 core items, the Mana Mune and Triforce. Very good standing, as well as his lovely brother that's playing the AD carry role. Also has his Iceborne, Executioners, and his Mana Mune with a support that managed to pick up that Knight's Vow. So Deimos Force is in a comfortable position. Now, let's take a look at Exulansis. We have the Soraka. She does have her Athene's Unholy Grail set, still building his items. And it's basically looking a bit rough. The score is 10-2 with a 5k goal lead to Deimos Force. They do have that advantage. Now, there's a little bit of a glitch. I can't quite check where the dragons have gone, but we did manage to see Deimos Force secure that dragon. And alright guys, let's just get straight into it. So a fight is breaking out and Trundle is going to absolutely heal Troll off. We see the ulti has been dropped and Katarina bot picks up that kill on Termi. A bit of a mistake there, not very good for the team. But is that a big loss? I think it's quite a huge loss. And it looks like Deimos Force is going to rotate to the bottom side of the map, while Exulansis will take this opportunity they see Deimos on the bottom side, and they're like, you know what? We're just gonna take Baron. Baron is ours. It's pretty much safe. Our jungler's here. We got the smite. We're gonna pick up this Baron, and we're gonna get it popping. And that is one more tower. So 4 towers for Deimos Force altogether. Exulansis only has managed to hit 1, but that will be the Baron Nash is secure. We see Crow running in. That's a 3-man punch together. He is going to be taunted by the Galio, but not much is going to be done there. Oh, the empowered minions. Exulansis has put themselves back into the game. Still a 4k gold difference, but it's still okay. You know, they're still cracking. Now, Yasuo has the most amount of gold on the side of Exulansis. That is Dead Corporal. 0-3-1. Not really a good start for Dead Corporal, but we know his proficiency on that champion. We know what he can do with that. And Kindred has actually gone for a Skirmisher Saber Blood Razor, which I didn't really expect. You know, usually it will be a warrior, but it looks like Kindred will be more of like the carry, gonna do that DPS damage. She will be building a Black Cleaver, probably to shred through the Galio's armor and also the Trundle. So pretty good option for video gamer at this point. Deimos Force, a little bit of a mishap. Yeah, Tommy did lose his life, but they are on good standings and they are rotating and they are doing what they have to do. So 4 towers, but for them, but Exulansis now they have 3 towers. It is, you know, like what BC likes to call it, even Stevens ish. But it looks like Deimos Force will try to wait out this Baron buff. We are also working to fix all of these delays. We apologize for any of the lags and all of that. We can't quite help it. There has been some issues with the server, but do bear with us. Thank you all for supporting. This is the South Asia Championship League, and do let us know who you are rooting for. This is a best of 3. It is the semi-finals. We still have one more semi-finals to go and the finals. All of it will be streamed today, so don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, which is the Esports Club. And it is 1-1, and whichever team that wins this game will go on to the finals. Is it going to be Deimos Force or is it going to be Exulansis? We have seen Exulansis, you know, they did show quite a bit of success in previous tournaments, and that is Dead Corporal going really hard onto Van Gogh, but that lovely orange manages to save the day. The ulti is dropped, Yasuo burns his flash. I don't think it was a good fight for Dead Corporal to pick up, but you know, he wanted to style a little bit on Van Gogh. Like, who's going to be the better top laner? It's always been a bit of rivalry up there. Dead Corporal against I Killed Van Gogh, very spicy top lane. I wish I could have seen more of it, but you know, we'll just let bygones be bygones. And okay, so Crixus picks up that Rit buff, really good for him. And that is for us, counter jungling. I don't think Exulansis managed to see that at all. But I think a big part is going to blow out, and because of the glitch we can't see which teams has managed to secure the dragon. I can try to check, but right now we can't tell. There is a mountain drake, it is a mountain and an arena. Both teams are looking to pick this objective up and hopefully get closer to the soul, because that does give your team extra benefits. Now Trundle is going to start that, but we see Crow looking for an opportunity to engage onto Deimos Force. Soraka is going to be pillared, has to flash out to safety. Ultimates will be dropped. Who is going to be focused? We see Crow onto the Galio. The Galio is going to drop that ulti onto Tommy, but Tommy is going to lose his life to Katarina, but Dead Corporal does go down. It is a 1-for-1. Who is going to come out victorious? I think Van Gogh, he's really low. Katarina, but does manage to secure himself onto Crixus and pick up the kill on Van Gogh. It is a 4-for-1. Crixus does go down. Trundle is the only one left alive. And Exulansis absolutely sweeps their competition, and it will go over to them. That is the mountain drake that they will secure and even out the scoreboard. Now, from a 5k goal difference, 4k goal difference, to only a 2k goal difference. Katarina bought 5, 2, and 1. Absolutely brilliant. Now, that is what you cannot overlook. he is extremely proficient on the champions that he can play. A very experienced mid laner. Picked up all of those kills, managed to get the kills onto Tommy. Not a very good positioning. Not good positioning coming out from Tommy. He is one of the carries for Deimos Force. So Katarina Bot completely just took that took that advantage. Micro Eyes also had to flash out, keep that Soraka alive. So it was a very good payoff for Exulansis, and Deimos Force now they've got to pick up the scraps and figure out what is going to be the next plan of action for them. Now guys, do take note, I am the only caster right now, just solo casting this because we are trying to make sure that the stream is going smooth. So don't worry, I hope I am keeping you guys at the edge of your seats because I am most definitely feeling the vibe of this game. It is great. Like, we don't know who's going to win. Is it going to be Deimos Force? Is it going to be Exulansis? We see moments of brilliance from both teams, and it's pretty unclear because they do have great amounts of synergy and teamwork. Now overall, it's 4 towers for 4 towers. We can't tell what the dragons are. There are the core items on the carries of both teams. Now, looking at Exulansis, it's a very unorthodox team composition. So I am guessing that it is, the Yasuo with that IE and the Silas. Both of them are the carries, and then you have Soraka with the utility. They basically, the people that have to be fat on Exulansis, they are fat at this point. So that's real good for them. And for Deimos Force, also the Manamune has been fully stacked for the Corki and the Ezreal. They also do have a good amount of CS, so both teams, they are alright. They're in pretty good spots. Alright, and we see Katarina Bot will try to go for engage onto Van Gogh. He has to be careful because a lot of his health is going to be chunked out there. The Baron is up again. Crixus just throws that true shot barrage, but nobody is doing the Baron as of now. Crow is looking to de-ward a little bit, and Panda's like, you're trying to take my ward? I'm just gonna harass the Baron a little bit so you can take all of their damages. And how many dragons on each side, we can't really tell at this point because there's not enough information. There is a bug on the spectator delay, so we will find out once all the dragons are taken who has the soul. Pretty unfortunate, but it is server problems. And not to worry, we'll fight through it. So it is very even. Look at the goal difference, very, very even. There is Predator for the Omni Stone set. And it looks like both sides are going to contest for this Baron, but Exulansis is like, nah, we're going to back off from this. I don't think our Soraka can, heal us through this, but they are going to start the Baron again. And is Deimos Force going to stop this? I think they should. They do have a vision ward to negate all of the vision behind the Baron pit. And the fights are going to break out. Video Gamer is actually engaging this fight. We see the ulti drop from I Kill Van Gogh. The redemption is also popped from the Soraka. A fight is going to break out. The TPs are coming in. Video Gamer is going to die to Van Gogh. Crow is not in a good position. Fixes free hitting. That is a 2-for-0. Deimos Force, they knew that Exulansis was going to make the mistake of starting the Baron, taking all of that damage, and they absolutely capitalized on that. Now, having Video Gamer, that 180 carry pick that was going to, free hit for them from the back dead, and also the jungler, they can't secure the Baron. So it's just going to be a free one for Deimos Force at this point, and their one tank, which was Crow, is dead. So who's going to be the front line given in this circumstance? That is going to be the Baron secure for Deimos Force, and it looks very bright for them. Alright guys, do let us know who you are rooting for. It is 1-for-1. In the first game, Deimos Force was leading, but due to technical difficulties, the game went over to Exulansis. And Deimos Force won the second game. So this third game, we're pretty much thinking that Deimos Force might have this in the bag as well. Dragon is up. It is the Mountain Drake. We don't know how many dragons are on each side. So let's see which team gets it, which one gets the soul, and we can go from there. Now, it's going to be a tough fight. We see the sweepers. Exulansis is trying to get rid of all of their vision, but a fight is going to break out and the ulti is dropped. But is that going to be a blessing in disguise? No, it's not. It's a nightmare, an absolute nightmare for Exulansis, and two are going to go down, one being their main carry with the most goal on their team, and that is Catbot on the Silas. Now, Video Gamer is not having a good time. Micro Ice with the flash, but more flashes are going to be popped. They're going to chase Micro Ice and cool down the duo bot lane. Are they going to live? Yes, they are. But with this Baron buff, Deimos Force is looking to end the game. They are pulling up to the base of Exulansis in the bot lane. And then Corporal solo pushing. Is he going to be able to do anything? Because Tommy is going to stop him, but that is the tower that is going to go down. Tommy has to kite his. The flash is brilliant. He negates all of that damage, and then Corporal is just going to go down to Corky. And Corky coming in with that TP. It's going to be a 5-man finish, and Crow with the suplex. But he is going to die. Bengo, run for your life. Crow is going to die to the Galio ulti, and it's just mayhem at this point. Deimos Force is pushing. Micro Ice is going to go down. It's not going to work out for Exulansis. Video Gamer and Katrina bot, they're already up. But are they going to be able to salvage this? No, they are not. And that is a 4-0. Video Gamer with a tick of health. The GP ulti drop. That is the Baron buff. Deimos Force had a bad time in the first game. It has to be a walkover, but they came back strong. 2-1. That is your champions, guys. That is Deimos Force going over. They will be in the finals. Good job to Exulansis. They tried their best, but the better team wins. And guys, do stay tuned when we come back with the next set of semifinals, which will be the best of 3. Hopefully, no delays or anything. Thank you so much for supporting. This is the South Asia Championship League, and I'll see you guys very shortly.